a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Do you remember when everyone was like obsessed with coffee B-roll? No, I've had 3 people now, I think at least 3 people tell me that my Pentax 6x7 isn't working properly or something's broken in there because I should be getting 10 frames and consistently I'm getting between 7 and 8. So this last time I went out there and took some pictures, I got my film developed and scanned from PhotoVision. I'm not affiliated or connected to them anyway, but I'll leave a link in the description in case you want to try them out. They send a full scan of the roll. And upon examining the roll, I noticed 2 blaringly obvious issues. Firstly, the first exposure was completely blank. It was like I was wasting a photo there. And secondly, it looks like the distance between each exposure, like the blank space between each exposure, gets larger and larger, which I think could be eating up an entire photo. Just as a side note, I am not taking a blank photo. Just like you might with 35mm, where you take a photo, rack it, take a photo, rack it to get past a certain point. I'm not doing that. I'm just loading it in there, closing the back, and racking it as many times as the camera is letting me. And then once it's locked up, I start taking my pictures. And consistently, same issue seems to be coming up. So I don't know. Again, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I think it's something with the camera. But I don't want to have to deal with it, and wasting 2 photos might not seem like a lot, but when you've only got 10 to begin with, and each one costs a certain amount per roll, per exposure, per development, per shipping, and return shipping, it starts to really add up. So I need a new camera, and I think I found just the right one. So my brand new camera, it's the Mamiya RZ67 Pro Mark II. It's easily the nicest film camera I've ever had. The lenses I have, I've got 2 lenses for it, are just, they're beautiful. Crystal clear. I bought everything is used but in very nice condition. So no complaints there. But I have not had a chance to use it yet, which is a problem. I want to make sure it's working properly. See, the issue I'm running into is that every time I expose a roll of film, I have to ship it away to get developed and scanned because I can't do either of those things right now, which means a good 3 weeks of waiting before I get any results. And to be honest, I just don't really feel like waiting. Enter the Fuji FP Peel Apart Instant Film and the Polaroid adapter for the Mamiya RZ. You see, with this pack film, I can do my testing immediately. I can check to make sure the body's working well, that the lenses are working well, and I'll get my exposures right away. I can feed into that American millennial impatience we're so famous for. My plan was pretty simple. Drive to a location that has enough interesting subject matter that I can blow through 2 packs of $80 instant film. Why? I've been asking myself the same question. I really like the look of this tower, which is why I decided to take a picture of it. So I have it framed up kind of like this. And yeah, we'll just go for it. The pack of 3200 ISO film, the one that I showed you earlier, that one expired back in 2015. The one that's currently loaded in my camera, the one that's ISO 100, that one expired in 2009. That's really old. That's over 13 years ago. Just to give you some perspective, back in 2009, we had just watched that first James Cameron Avatar. I was still in high school in 2009. I want to shoot this fast enough because it's windy that any vibration doesn't cause any major shake. So f4.5, I'm looking at 1/60th. Whew, that's some cold wind. Whoa! That came out of nowhere. Whew. As soon as it calms down, I'm going to take this shot. F4.
f5.6 at 1/60th. Dark slide out. Let's double check my focus. Now we wait. For 1 minute. All right, it's been a minute. Now for the big reveal. Actually, it's been a minute and a half, which it's cold out here, so. Nice. That's what expired film looks like. It's very bright. If this chemical touches the film, it will overexpose it. My next exposure is a pretty simple one. I have this doorway framed exactly in the center of my shot, and there's a doorway behind it that leads into a museum portion that's real dark. I want to try to get all the way through, get some depth of field on this, and take this shot. But it is starting to drizzle, so I have to move kind of quickly. Otherwise, all of my brand new film camera equipment might get wet. We're looking at f5.6 at 1/50th of a second or thereabouts. Just like that on that last one, we got some chemical issues, slightly overexposed. I like the shot a lot. So I might do another one, close up the aperture just slightly. All right, so at this point, I'm really cold. This camera, it's making it tricky to work with it. I'm just gonna go through, take another few shots, and meet up with you back in the van. I'll just play them on screen right now, throw some music or something with it, and yeah, I'll meet up with you then. Well, up to this point, I've shot everything on my 250 lens, but let's change things up a bit. I also bought a 75mm short barrel, and it came with a shift tilt adapter. So that's what we're gonna use now. We're gonna switch things up. I've got 3 more frames. Picture number 8, we're gonna switch over this guy right here. I better move quick. All these cars are starting to show up. The place must be opening here soon. What this lens allows me to do is, with this unlocked, I can lift this so I can center my subject without having to tilt my camera. So this makes it so that it stays square, which is super cool, especially when you're dealing with architecture. I first saw Nick Carver using this setup, so as soon as I saw it, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get one of those. I need to back up. Okay. I'm framed up. I've got the building pretty well centered. Nice straight lines. The ground is crooked though, so it throws things off a little bit, makes it look crooked. Metering this time around, I'm gonna go f8 at 1/60th. I'll just see kind of how that looks. Everything else has been shot really bright, so I know it's probably because it's expired film, but I'll give this a shot and see what happens. F8, 1/60th. Dark slide. Dark slide. That's what that. Nope. That mistake was. Yeah, we just made that mistake. I'll just do another one. That was $8 wasted, my friends. $8. Oh well, had to do it at least once, right? Can't learn otherwise. What I'm running into is this water spout from this, which is to control the hot spring geothermal stuff. It's like right in line with the corner of the building right there, and I am not liking that. So I got to move this way, which puts the big boulder in the way. So I gotta move this way. All right, I like this one. This way, quite a bit better. There's just a hair of separation between that valve and the building, so we're good there. I'm getting a 9 under the building. Everything's been going bright. That's the thing. Got one more exposure. If I go f8 at 1/30th like it says, the roof, I think we're gonna just do it. f8 1/30th. Let's just see what happens. Dark slide out this time. Don't want to forget that. You're good now. Nice. I'd say we've learned two things from this whole experience. Number one, pull apart or peel apart film doesn't last 13 years. And the other thing is my camera works great. So in the one hand, still kind of cool seeing these Polaroid type photos. On the other hand, boy, I wish these had turned out good. Although some of the fragmentation is kind of neat. You know, seeing some of these banding effects, it's kind of cool. I'm so happy with this camera. I am loving this tilt shift adapter too. So cool. As always, let me know in the comments what you thought of these photos. Some of them turned out kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan of like the distortion, but they're so unique and so different for each one that, I don't know, it kind of works a little bit, especially with the gritty, old penitentiary kind of vibe that I've got going here. Yeah, I'll see you next week. Take care.